If you keep finding yourself in the same painful dynamics you thought you had left behind, stay here for a moment. You know the feeling. You left home years ago. You did the work. You thought you were free. And then you look around and realize you are in the same room, with different furniture, same criticism, same withdrawal, same feeling of not being enough. If this is you, stay here for a moment. Here is what to understand about this pattern. It is not a sign that you have failed at healing. It is not evidence that the work did not take. It is not proof that you are doomed to repeat the past. It is an adaptation, something your nervous system learned to do, because at some point it needed to. It's an energetic memory. Your family of origin was not just a place. It was an environment, a set of instructions that your nervous system absorbed before you had any choice in the matter. If love was conditional, you learned that. If criticism was constant, you learned that. If withdrawal was the response to your needs, you learned that. If you had to earn safety through performance, you learned that. That learning did not stay in your mind as an idea. It went into your body as an energetic imprint, a felt sense of what relationships feel like. Here is what that means practically. Your nervous system does not know what relationships are supposed to feel like. It knows what they felt like. And what they felt like for you may have included criticism, unpredictability, emotional distance, or the sense that you had to earn love. So now, when you encounter a relationship that feels familiar, even if it hurts, your nervous system registers it as normal. Not because it is good for you, because it matches the template. The calm, respectful, consistent relationship may feel wrong, not because it is wrong, because your nervous system does not recognize it. It does not fit the template. This is the resonance angle. What you are carrying inside resonates with what is outside that matches it. If you learned that love looks a certain way, critical, distant, conditional, painful, you will be drawn to people who fit that description. Not because you want to suffer, because the familiar feels like home. And people who love you steadily, without conditions, without criticism, without withdrawal. They may feel wrong. Not wrong because they are wrong. Wrong because your nervous system does not recognize them. They do not fit the template. The dynamic you keep recreating is not happening because you are broken. It is happening because your nervous system is seeking what it knows. And what it knows is the shape of your childhood. Here is what this pattern is costing you. You feel like you are spinning in place, leaving one relationship only to find another. That feels suspiciously similar. You blame yourself. You must be choosing wrong. You must be attracting the wrong people. You must be the common denominator. And somewhere underneath the blame, there is a younger part of you that never had a chance to learn what safe love feels like. That part is still waiting for someone to say, "This is not your fault. You were not given the template for safe love. And you can build it now." In the session that follows, we are going to work with this pattern directly. Not by analyzing your childhood, not by blaming your parents, by going into the body, where the template lives, and updating what the nervous system believes relationships should feel like. The session will guide you through the felt sense of the familiar pain, the beliefs beneath the repetition, the younger part of you that learned that love looks like what you grew up with. And then it will resource that part with something it did not have back then. Your presence as an adult, your capacity to be with what arises. and a deeper truth about who you actually are. Beneath the family script. Let's now go to the integration session. If you keep finding yourself in the same painful dynamics you thought you had left behind, stay here for a moment. Take a slow breath and arrive here. You do not need to analyze anything. Let the words land where they land. Your body will take what it needs. This material is emotionally activating by design. It works by meeting what you are carrying directly. To get the full benefit and stay present rather than overwhelmed, tap gently on a single point as you listen. If you know AFT, you can use all 9 points. But using only a single point, such as karate chop or collarbone, keeps your attention inside the feeling, rather than tracking where to tap next, and is just as effective. And begin. I now recall how this pattern shows up in my life. I tend to feel more familiar with emotional pain than with ease. I believe love requires proving my worth through endurance. I often interpret distance from others as normal or even safe. I expect closeness to eventually turn into criticism or withdrawal. I find myself playing the same emotional role regardless of who I am with. If this resonates, we will now gently connect with the emotional experience behind this pattern. I keep recreating familiar emotional pain from childhood. I am drawn to dynamics that feel like home, even when they hurt. I repeat patterns of chasing unavailable or critical people. I find myself in relationships that mirror old wounds. I unconsciously recreate the same emotional roles from my past. I keep ending up with people who trigger childhood survival patterns. I relive old pain through new relationships. I feel stuck in familiar but unhealthy relational loops. I recreate old attachment pain with different faces. I keep repeating what I thought I had outgrown, even though I keep recreating familiar emotional pain. And part of me believes this is just how love works. This is only a passing pattern arising in consciousness, not who I really am. I feel so tired of ending up in the same place again. Why do I always choose people who cannot really see me? There is something wrong with me. I must be the problem. I feel so ashamed that I keep doing this. I thought I had healed this. Maybe I'm just broken in a way that does not get fixed. I feel heavy and small just thinking about it. Notice how this feels in your body. I want to stop, but I do not know how. Breathe into the tightness for a moment. I am so angry at myself for falling for the same thing again. It feels like my chest is caving in. Let the body soften a little. I do not trust myself anymore. I feel hopeless that this will ever change. I am just repeating my mother, my father, the same story. There is no point in trying something new. Notice how this sits in your belly. I feel numb and resigned. Breathe into that numbness gently. And yet somewhere inside, I am still watching this happen. I am the one noticing the pattern, even if I cannot stop it yet. That part of me is not broken. Let that awareness just be present for a moment. I can stay here with this exactly as it is. I do not need to fix or escape what I feel right now. This experience moves through me while I remain here. Underlying beliefs. Perhaps I believe that love must be earned through suffering. Maybe I think that if someone is available and kind, it will not feel like home. It is possible I believe my worth is proven only when I finally win over someone critical or distant. I might assume that familiar pain is safer than unfamiliar peace. There could be a belief that I am fundamentally too much or not enough. So I keep recreating relationships that confirm this. It is conceivable that my ego clings to the role of the patient, enduring one who finally gets chosen. Because that identity gave me hope as a child. I may be repeating an old survival strategy: stay close to unpredictable people to stay safe. Even when it hurts. This belief structure was once a way to maintain attachment to caregivers who could not consistently show up. That old role of the loyal, waiting child is being outgrown now. Not because it is wrong, but because it is no longer who I am becoming. Adult self, gently turn toward your inner child. I am sorry to my inner child who experienced that love felt like waiting, chasing, or shrinking. I am sorry you learned to equate familiar pain with safety. Because that was what home felt like. I want you to know that your awareness of this pattern is already a form of safety. And you do not have to solve anything right now. Your emotions are temporary visitors. And I am the stable one here with you. Inner child speaks. Oh, you are not leaving while I feel this. Maybe I can just stay here without having to figure it out. Adult speaks. I give you permission to rest inside this pattern without having to break it. I give you permission to forgive yourself for every time you repeated what you did not understand. I release any guilt and shame you carry for not knowing differently. I honor our journey together, including the painful loops. I love you exactly where you are. You are safe to let go and simply be yourself now. Because I am here and I will not abandon you. These feelings are passing weather, not the truth of who you are. Now that we've felt and honored the experience, allow understanding and light to arise naturally. Message from higher self. You were never wrong for seeking familiar ground. Your nervous system was doing its job, keeping you attached to what it knew as survival. The old belief that pain equals love was never a truth. It was a child's creative adaptation to an environment that did not provide steady warmth. That adaptation worked then, and now it is simply a pattern you can witness without shame. You are not broken. You are not doomed. The very fact that you can observe yourself recreating these dynamics means the one who sees is already free. Thoughts, fears, and relational loops arise and pass like clouds. You are the sky. Always whole. Always here. Untouched. Filling the void. I can feel support underneath me, even when I do not know what to do next. I have enough space inside to let this pattern be present without being overwhelmed. I can take one small step that is mine, not a reaction to someone else. I move forward not by fixing myself, but by staying here and breathing. The ask, inner child. I give myself permission to feel what it is like to be near someone without my chest tightening in preparation for loss. I allow my shoulders to stay soft for just a moment, even if the other person is not proving anything yet. Adult self. I choose to stay present with my own experience while someone else simply exists next to me, without demanding they prove their care. I can pause for one breath before I chase, explain, or shrink. Higher self. I allow my body to learn a new rhythm in its own time, without controlling how or when. I trust that awareness remains steady while old sensations rise, pass, and teach me nothing except that they pass. Bridge into your new reality. Where I once felt an urgent pull to prove myself to someone distant, now I notice a quieter space where I can simply exhale. I used to interpret calm as dangerous or boring, and yet now I feel a small curiosity about what ease might actually feel like. The familiar ache of chasing is still possible in the background, but something else is also here now, a faint but real sense of staying put. Reclaim your power. I choose to release the belief that my suffering is what makes me lovable. And I embrace the learning that every repetition was just my system asking to be seen. I am the one witnessing these patterns. And that witness has never been wounded, never been rejected, and is completely capable of choosing differently from a place of presence, not pressure. Seeing it done, I imagine myself feeling quietly grounded in a connection where no one is running away or criticizing me. I see myself now noticing a familiar old urge to chase or explain. And instead of acting on it, I simply breathe and stay in my own body. My shoulders are relaxed. My breath is slow. The other person is doing nothing special. And I feel no emergency. I am not waiting for the other shoe to drop. I am not rehearsing how to earn their attention. I am just here. And that feels ordinary, even pleasant. This new experience arises in consciousness. And I am the stable witness watching myself learn to receive ease. I am finally free to breathe without earning it. My chest feels soft and open like a room where I am always welcome. I belong here without proving a single thing. This is just how bodies learn. This is ordinary. This is safe. Now experience a new future. I am standing at the edge of the moment where the old pattern would normally begin. Someone I care about is not responding immediately. There is a pause, a small gap. In the past, my chest would tighten and my mind would start spinning stories. But now I feel my feet on the floor. I notice my breath moving slowly in and out. My hands are relaxed at my sides. I feel a familiar flicker of alertness. But instead of grabbing it, I just let it sit there like a leaf on the surface of water. I do not have to do anything with it. I breathe in for 4 counts, out for 6. My belly softens. I notice that I am not disappearing. I am still here. The other person's distance does not mean I am wrong. I feel a small wave of old sadness rise. And I let my hand rest on my chest. I say inside, I am here with you. The sadness moves through like a cloud. I keep breathing. I notice I am not chasing. I am not explaining. I am not shrinking. I am just here in my own body, in my own life. A few minutes pass. The other person texts back. Nothing dramatic. Just normal. And I feel a quiet sense of completion. I did not have to fight for connection. I did not have to earn my right to exist in this moment. I just stayed. And that was enough. My shoulders drop. My jaw unclenches. I feel a small smile. This is normal now. This is safe. Allow this felt sense to continue integrating naturally in the body and in life. Take a deep breath, feel the shift, and smile. Let this settle gently. There's nothing you need to do right now. You can return to this whenever you feel called. Be gentle with yourself. If something came up for you while listening, a memory, a belief, a repeating situation, I have a free personal audio session I can make specifically for your exact experience. Just check the link in the description and let me know what is showing up for you. It goes deeper when it is built around your words.